Group number 4, the floor is yours. And you can have the microphone. Who can I give it?
Okay, hello everyone. Our topic of the case is stall feeding good for milk quality? Nowadays, the grazing of cows declines mostly in the Netherlands. The reasons for that are that the more use of automatic milking systems and increased herd sizes. Furthermore, also the hot and dry weather in the summer has a high influence on the grazing. Instead of grazing, a farmer can use cut and carry. That is that the cows stay inside the barn and the farmer mows the grass and gives it directly to the cows. If a farmer changes his system, it's important that the milk quantity and the milk quality stays the same, and also that the influences on the environment and the animal welfare are not bad. In our research, we looked at the quantity and quality of the forage and the milk, and our research question was, is stall feeding bad for milk quality? Now we wanted first to ask you if you think is what's better for the milk quality, if it's the grazing or the cut and carry system. So can we see hands for the grazing system? And for the cut and carry? Okay.
Okay, so first of all, we want to present you some important points about the management systems and how their influence is reflected on plant and animal productivity. So management basically means to control the development, the maintenance, and the use of grassland. So grassland doesn't mean only, grazing doesn't mean only letting the cows out. There are many other factors to consider. Grazing systems are very complex and can vary between time and space. And all management tools have to be adjusted on the corresponding circumstances. For example, the optimal stocking rate, which can be very different depending on the area. The optimal stocking rate promotes high productivity and species richness. In such a species-rich field, cows can choose between a huge variety of plants. This freedom to choose is also called the selection opportunity and is a big advantage of grazing. Grazing animals have clear preferences and select their diet to their current needs. But for some less favorable areas in terms of climate, but also for fragmented farms, cut and carry can be a good alternative to provide the fresh feed to the animals. Although both systems provoke a phytomass removal, grazing is a selective pressure, and mowing gives all species the same development chance. For that reason, it's easier to maintain grass qualities throughout the season. Some studies also show that in cut and carry systems, grass utilization and grass growth rate can increase. A further advantage is that cut and carry makes it possible to monitor dry matter intake and to react on a possible decrease of the feed consumption. The main disadvantages of our cut and carry systems is the higher capital requirement due to the need of special machinery, and in this context the increased fuel costs, and also the reduced selection opportunity.
So then we'll continue with the feed quality. The feed quality is the basis for good milk quality. And we read some researches, and there is not a lot of information about, but most researchers state that the values of forage quality between the cut and carry system with fresh grass or the grazing system are quite similar. The only difference that is significant is the crude protein, so the protein rate in grass. During grazing, it's almost doubled, as you can see. Then we continue to the feed quantity. Feed quantity is in favor of the cut and carry system, as you can better manage your grasslands during the cut and carry system. It's mainly because the optimum regeneration period you can choose when you are going to mow, but when you do the grazing, the cow doesn't really care about the optimum result in yield. Another big positive effect for cut and carry is that you don't have the trampling effect of cows. As for example, in very wet, cows can trample your field, and this will decrease your yield quantity from cows, as it's spread throughout the field on certain points, and that's also not very good for the grass. Then also you have other factors who have a more influence than the cut and carry system of the grassland management system, like the weather and the grass species, the soil type. For example, in a dry year you want more quantity than quality, and in a wet year maybe the other way around. So the conclusion, quality will be a little bit better when you do the grazing system, but you have a little bit more quantity when you do the cut and carry system.
Right. Good afternoon. So our case study is mainly based on to check whether the milk quality will be enhanced with the stall feeding or the grazing. So these are some of our findings from the case study. So when we talk about the milk quality, that is the main keyword for our case study. So we are checking the milk quality here. So when we talk about the milk quality, it is graded mainly based on the milk fats. So that is the economics of the milk. It's a resource of energy. It has got various nutrients and minerals like fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, K. And from the fatty acids, 96 to 98% is composed of the triglycerides, the fatty acids, which is the building blocks of the fats. And the main thing to see the difference here is the health benefits to the humans, like PUFA, polyunsaturated fatty acids. We found some of the literatures which claims that the milk which comes from the grazing system has got a higher amount of this essential fatty acids, such as PUFA, mainly the conjugated linoleic acid, which is having numerous health benefits, such as it is anti-carcinogenic, anti-obese, anti-diabetic, anti-hypertensive properties. That is the source which we got from. And according to the research by Earl Gersma in 2006, it claimed that changing diet to fresh grass, it elevates the linolenic and the linoleic acid, the most essential fatty acids which are good for our health. Regarding the economics of comparing the two milk coming from the stall feeding and then the grazing system, in Dutch dairy cooperatives, it was found out that the milk coming from the grazing system has the premium price. So you know that nowadays even the general public are getting very much aware of the animal welfare thing. But animal welfare is a different topic for our case study, so we are focusing more on the milk quality. This would be our last slide. Regarding the graphs there, the first table is about the composition of milk from different species, including the humans. The second graph, it shows the essential fatty acid, which I said, CLA, conjugated linoleic acid, in milk coming from grazing and non-grazing system. So in the first one, you can see that there is a direct elevation, like close by to 20 in the CLA amount in the milk, compared to the control group, which were fed only with TMR, total mixed ration, throughout the period. But the cows having access to the fresh, greener pasture while grazing had a higher amount of this fatty acid. All right, so ruminic acids, these are the main findings of our case study. The ruminic acids, the CLA, is higher from the milk coming from the grazing system, and milk fat and fat percentage, there were some papers which said that there is no significant difference in the milk yield in the two systems, cut and carry or the grazing system. But in the protein content, there was a significant difference in the milk coming from the grazing system, which means that the milk coming from grazing system is definitely better for the human health. There are some points like body condition score, which is for the, let's say, animal welfare point of view. And then the economic, like Martina said before, from cut and carry, it involves labor and higher costs. So this is it for our, and you might be seeing a difference between the two tables. The first table, it's done in dry period in Mexico, I think. Yeah, it's in Mexico. And then the second period, the second table is the one done in Ireland in collaboration with the University of Alberta. It is done in the summer season. So you can see the differences in the milk yield there too. And then the ruminic acids, the essential fatty acids there, is quite higher in the milk coming from the grazing system. And even the protein content is also quite higher in the milk coming from the grazing system. So these are our findings of the case study. Thank you very much, and if you have any questions, please. It's welcome.
Thank you very much, group number 4. How much milk do I need to drink to have a positive health effect of all this linoleic acid, etc.? Do I need to drink 10 liters per day or something like that to get a positive effect? Or is it already there if I drink 2 glasses, which I normally do?
We certainly do not have that about the human nutrition effect about the consumption, but we're just presenting we're focusing on the research question on the quality of the milk. Sorry about that.
That's okay, thank you. Other questions, more important questions, please. Yes, there's a question in the back there.
I'm not sure if it's more important, but is it true that in literature it's only being highlighted whether there's only cut and carry or the grazing system? Because I know farmers who have both. Is there like information on that, or is it strictly separated from each other?
So the question is, it's now separated, cut and carry or grazing, but many farmers might have a mix of the two. Is there also literature on that?
There is definitely literature on that, but we focused on the cut and carry with a zero grazing system. So most sources are non-grazing combined with fresh grass.
Thank you very much. Other questions? No. If not, then thank you very much. Group number 4. And I now would like to invite group number 11 to come to the fore, because some of the team members need to leave early, and we want to make sure that they will have the opportunity to finish their talk and answer the questions. Sorry? Well, I don't, if it's not connected, then you might want to use that. Thank you. Yeah. Don't forget it afterwards.